Welcome, friends. It's Ray. Thank you so much for joining me today. I love the Bird Crazy stamps from Tim Holtz, so I'm going to be using one of those on my art journal page today. Here, I'm bringing in some Distress Mica Stain Fresh Balsam and spraying that on my Bristol Smooth watercolor paper. And next I'm just going to splatter some water on this and use my dry paper towel to blot off some of that water and then apply some more water. I want lots of texture on this panel. Next I'm going to bring in my heat tool and go ahead and dry my panel. Look at how rich this mica color is. I'm bringing in my archival ink in jet black and stamping that with a texture stamp that I have in my stash that looks like mesh. So I'm going to give that 2 or 3 stamps. Then I'm bringing in this Tim Holtz faded type stamp, and we'll add that in 2 or 3 places on my panel. Next, I'm bringing in some crackle paste, and we'll add that over top a deco type stencil that I have in my stash. And I am just going to move that around and add it to about 3 different places. This crackle paste dries very fast. I'm going to set this aside to dry. So I'm bringing in a scrap piece of Bristol Smooth cardstock, and I'm stamping my bird onto that using my archival ink. Stamp my bird several times to get a really good impression on this watercolor paper. I'm going to use my Distress watercolor pencils from set number 3 in Wild Honey and Crackling Campfire to color my bird. I'm using a water brush to just lift that color directly from my pencils and then apply it to my bird. By no means am I an expert, but I'm doing my best. I'm going to speed this up more now that you've seen the basics. Nothing fancy in terms of my coloring. I'm just applying the color to the paper or the color to the water brush and then putting that on paper, adding darker colors kind of around the exterior just to give them a little bit of depth. Definitely skip ahead if you don't want to watch all the coloring of the bird. So I'm fussy cutting my bird out, and I'm going to cut off the little hairs on his head and his feet. But I'll cut everything else out. And definitely skip ahead if you don't want to watch all of this. I'm bringing in some Christmas rub-ons from 49th and Market, and we'll cut out some of those to use on this journal page. And here I'm applying some Tim Holtz holiday deco paper on top of a piece of cardstock, and then we'll use that to cut out my snowflakes. This Santa hat I pulled from my stash. It was on a gnome, and so I cut out that centerpiece where his nose was, but I'm going to cover that anyway with my mini pom-poms, which is what I'm doing here. I colored the hat with my alcohol markers, and then I used a gold gel pen for the buckle. So I'm applying my rub-on branch with my ball stylus. These rub-ons usually come with a popsicle stick that you can use, or you can use your scoring tool. Normally, the flat end of that will work. When applying, I typically will go slow, leave the paper on, and then just continue to apply pressure and pull that paper up slowly. And if I feel like something is coming, hasn't transferred properly, I will definitely put that paper back down and rub more. I'm inking up the feet of my bird stamp and applying that on the branch where I want my bird to rest. Now I'm going in and adding a little glue to his head and adding the Santa cap. And here I'm coming in with my archival ink to go around the edges, and I should have done that before I added the cap to his head, and before I ordered them, before I placed the mini pom-poms on. I should have just edged up everything with my brush and didn't think about it. And so now here I have brought those feet back in that I cut off, and I am just gluing those to the base of where his feet should be, because I actually needed to place him higher because of his hat. So off camera, I cut out my snowflakes and some greenery to use on my panel. I will be sure to list all of the products that I used over on my blog post with lots of photos. I did speed this up quite a bit and cut out a lot of the footage of me placing these pieces on my panel. So I'm bringing in my bird, and I've popped him up on foam tape. Next, I'll bring in his feet and place those underneath on the branch. I added liquid glue to the back of my red berry branch and am affixing that to the back of my design. So I didn't press my bird down all the way because I knew I would be placing things behind it. So I place a second berry leaf on the other side of my bird, and I place a third smaller branch on the panel. I'm going to reattach that mini pom-pom that came off. So I'm applying a rub-on sentiment, and as soon as I start applying this, I realize that I've put it too close to the left. so that the holes of my journal page will punch out part of this, the happy. Stay tuned to see how I fix this. I'm kind of committed at this point, so I do need to go ahead and finish rubbing it on. So of course, as I'm rubbing, I'm debating to myself whether or not it's bad. And well, it is bad because again, my journal page holes will cut out the part of the happy. So I'm going to go ahead and finish my rub-ons and then come back and fix this. And let me know in the comments how you would have fixed this. Even though you're going to see how I fix it, is there a better way, better option to fixing it? All of these rub-ons are from that same pack. There are stars and snowflakes, all different images. So I definitely wanted to bring in some red, which is how I picked my sentiment, some more red, and then I'm bringing in some gold, and had cut out or used the snowflake from the snowflake cutout. There was a center star, so I affixed that with glue and just going around the entire panel, adding more gold stars. I also added some snowflake rub-ons. In some cases, I only used a part of a rub-on, and then you'll see that I used the remainder in another spot. Now that I'm finished with my rub-ons, I'm bringing in my archival ink and just going around the edges of my panel to darken those. Here I'm bringing in my white gel pen just to even out and lighten the eyes. Bringing in a holly leaf just to cover some exposed areas of the branches. Added or covered my bird, and then I'm just bringing in some gold or fossilized amber distress spritz and adding some gold, lots of gold to my panel. Bringing in a white paper towel to just blot that gold. Now I'm ready to fix my sentiment debacle. I've sprayed a scrap piece of paper with that same Fresh Balsam mica stain and am using my heat tool to dry it. So now I will just finish fixing this. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions on anything. After getting that piece replaced, I did stamp it with my text stamp over top, and so now I'm applying just a little bit of crackle paste, but then I decide no, that's not going to do it, so I bring my stencil back in and paste one of those designs right over top. Again, let me know in the comments how you may have fixed this piece differently, or whether or not you think my way worked. As always, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you liked the video, and if not a subscriber, will subscribe and give me a thumbs up. Until next time, good day, friends.